Oh, well, they fined the Falcons coach. Yeah, they should have fined him. What's going on, guys? Welcome back. So I just got some news here that they did fine the Falcons coach for his son leaking that phone call. So we have some more information. Legendary agent Leigh Steinberg weighed in on the Shedeur Sanders situation, on why, because we want to know why did the owners pass up on him. And he said that they did have him high on their draft boards, but he said during the draft, they were watching, like other teams was watching what was going on. Basically with Leigh Steinberg, if you know sports, you know Leigh Steinberg. Okay, Shiloh Sanders just hired another legendary agent. Drew was Drew Rosenhaus, I believe. He's a legendary agent, and Leigh Steinberg is another legendary agent. So Leigh Steinberg has a lot of connections in the league, and he was trying to find out what really happened here, because he said what happened was like kind of like an anomaly, because Shedeur was high on everybody's draft board. Um, but he's saying that it's coming down. It came down to the draft process. They weren't really sure about him. Now for us that's been watching Shedeur, we know that he has skills. We watched it, and we know that he's a winner. But he's saying that the owners just wasn't sure about him, and he said it's up to Shedeur now to just prove him wrong. He said he can go on to have a legendary career like a Pat Mahomes. He said because Pat Mahomes didn't start his first year. He didn't start at all. And his first year he sat out. He was a backup, and then the rest was history when he finally took over. So he said just because this situation happened doesn't mean that Shedeur can't go on to prove everybody wrong. He said that's pretty much what he has to do now. He has to sit here and prove all the owners wrong, because he's saying they just weren't sure about him. He said they had the tape of him, but they still wasn't sure, and they said it was because of his interviewing. They said he came off cocky. This is what Leigh Steinberg is saying. And for me personally, just watching some of the other quarterbacks come in the league in the past, a lot of them were cocky. A lot of them were. I would like to say Joe Burrow he was overly confident. I mean, he had the skills, but he was confident. He wasn't backing down or anything. He said he was confident. He coming to win. So that's a trait that you want to have with your quarterback. You want to have him confident. He has to be, because he's leading a team. He's literally the face of the team. He's leading the team. You can make or break a team with a quarterback. Um, so let me just get to Leigh Steinberg here. And like I said, I was when I saw that Leigh Steinberg had weighed in on it, I was interested to listen to it, because he is a legendary agent. He's been around a very long time. He's like a legend in this game when it comes to agents is concerned. Leigh Steinberg. And I was a little shocked on the things that Leigh Steinberg was saying. Um, and me personally, I know they told Leigh Steinberg that, but I'm just not fully convinced that he had bad meetings. I'm not convinced of it. Let's listen to it.
First of all, the expectations were inflated to the point that never matched reality. So I think Coach Sanders said he's the top 5 pick. And so that perception went around. But to get drafted high for a franchise quarterback position takes a team falling in love with an individual player and looking to build their whole future around him. So, first of all, he was 13-12. He didn't have the winning record of other people. There were people who felt his mechanics were not great and needed work.
All right, stop right there. He said that some people felt that his mechanics weren't great and he needed work. And there was another legendary Steeler player said that he threw a lot of bubble screens in college, and he wanted to see more than that. And he said he believed that he threw they had him throw a lot of bubble screens. He said this wasn't Shedeur's fault, but he said they believed they had him throw a lot of bubble screens to help him. But I mean, damn, he didn't throw all bubble screens. I mean, I saw he threw more than that now. He didn't throw all bubble screens now. But that's what he's saying. Merrill Hyde said that. He said he was looking at him and he said, yeah, he could still prove people wrong, but he gonna have a lot of work to do. But, I'm just like I said, I watched him. I had the benefit of watching him since Jackson State. A lot of people didn't watch him really that closely since Jackson State. A lot of us did. We saw the skill set. We saw the skill set. We saw the winning mentality. But he's saying that the owners weren't sold on it. So let's see.
And then the process itself, he didn't work out at the scouting combine. And
all right, stop right there. Now, a lot of top quarterbacks don't work out at the scouting combine, but the chatter now is saying that the coaches wanted him to work out. They really wanted him to work out at that combine. Now, my thing is it because he didn't have an agent and he didn't, and then I believe that didn't get back to Shedeur. Maybe that didn't get back to him. Maybe he didn't know. Maybe he was under the impression from the information he was getting that he was a top 5 pick. Okay, he had to have got that information from somewhere that he's a top 5 pick. It's one thing to be good, but it's one thing to know that you're a top 5 pick. Somebody had to have told you this, that you're a top 5 pick. It's guaranteed that you're going in the top 5. If it's guaranteed that if it's guaranteed that you're going in the top 10 in the lottery, we're talking about the lottery. If you're going in one of those lottery teams, you really don't have to work out at the combine because your tape has already been solidified. I believe this is what Shedeur was told. Now, if the owners really wanted him to work out at that combine, somebody should have told him that. Or did they tell him that he still didn't want to work out? I don't know. I don't know. And somebody said this is the benefits of having a agent, because the agent will tell you what the chatter is going on around the league. Hey, listen, Shedeur, you got to work out at the combine. You don't have the luxury to not work out at the combine, because we know that the quarterback that was drafted at the Browns before him, he worked out at the combine. He did. And maybe his agent told him, like, look, even though you had a really good career at Oregon, you still have to work out at the combine. I don't believe Shedeur was told this. Like, the information didn't get to him that that's what they wanted him to do. And then they also said he didn't work out at the Big 12 thing. They wanted him to work out at that. I'm like, okay, if they wanted him to work out at that, he had to have gotten information that he didn't have to work out there. But according to Leigh Steinberg, according to his sources, they wanted him to work out at these events. They didn't like the fact that he didn't work out. They wanted him to work out because they wanted to get a little bit more info on him. So I don't know if actually Shedeur is not going to come out and say it now because he's already in the league. It's best for him not to even talk about it. What's done is done now. But if they really, like I said, if they really want him to work out, they should have told him. Like, listen, we don't know if you're a top 5 pick. You need to work out. He was under the impression that he's a lottery pick. He was under the impression, I'm sure, that he was locked in. Okay. Even I was under the impression, everybody was that's been watching. We like, okay, he's going to be a lottery pick. He don't have to be in the top 5. He just had to be a lottery pick. You know what I'm saying? He has to go in the top 10. If he's going the top 10, then okay, he don't have to work out there because Cam Ward didn't work out at the event. He worked out at his pro day. Okay, because it was solidified that he was going in the top 2 or top 3. I believe Shedeur got that same information, but my question is, where did he get the information from? Or did they tell him that and they reneged on draft day? That's my question. So let's go.
And there were a series of meetings that play an essential role in teams getting excited about a player. And evidently, it's anecdotal, but those didn't go quite so well. So we would prepare a player for the draft by having him deal with a former general manager and have that general manager ask all the questions that would occur.
All right, my question was he prepped? Was he prepped for these meetings? Because yeah, they do that. They have former general managers. I remember Bill Parcells did it one time. With I forget which quarterback he questioned to prep him for the questions and stuff like that. I'm sure he was prepped. You know what I'm saying? But I'm sure in his mind, he already knew that he was going to be the first or second quarterback taken in the draft. Somebody had to have told him this information, but they reneged on draft day because he was surprised. He had everything ready for that day one. He had everything prepared. In his mind, he was going to be the second quarterback taken in that draft. But something happened and they reneged on draft day. And I know people are saying it wasn't collusion. That's what they're trying to say. Leigh Steinberg said it wasn't. But could somebody had told him, like, look, bro, we need you to work out. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I honestly think he was told that he was going to be the first or second quarterback taken in the draft, and that was it. Because he had the because with that understanding, you don't have to work out at the combine. Jimmy Horn was told that he had to work out at the combine. He did. LaJohntay Wester worked out at the combine. They got the information. Well, actually, it was understood that they were going to work out at the combine. It was understood because they were invited. They had to work out. Now Zay didn't work out last year because he was hurt. But if you notice, even though he was hurt at the combine, they came back. The pros came to Colorado to get a good look at him again. Even though he didn't work out at the combine, they set it up to where they could come to Colorado and see him work out because he had a shoulder injury. So he got the information. And how did Shedeur not to get this information, man? Because I was under the impression he was going to be the second quarterback. Everybody thought that. So I don't know what's this miscommunication. What's going on here?
In the one-on-one meeting at the combine between a player and the franchise. I'm not sure whether he did that, but some of the feedback from teams was that they felt he was arrogant. They felt he was dismissive. He limited in the scouting process the teams he interacted with. But you have to find, as an agent, one or two teams that you're pretty sure are going to take the player before having him exposed in a way. So he was analyzed and reanalyzed, but no one came forward. So there were draft projections that showed him going to New Orleans or going to Pittsburgh. But you never saw those teams step forward and say, he's our guy. So, and then once a player slips before his perceived slot in the draft, other teams are spread across the country and they start to think something might be wrong. There's some fact they don't know about. There's some reason why the player's not being selected. And so because they're cut off from any way to research that on draft day, it's the case of the slipping draft pick. And then, his father's a wonderful player and a amazing personality, but there might have been perceptions that the father would somehow, like in the Lonzo Ball situation, be too involved. And so I think a combination of those factors, but again, no team falling in love with him during the scouting process and prioritizing him as the top quarterback. So now he's the second rookie quarterback that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, quarterbacks in the past and then even this year met with John Gruden. He does that a lot. They'll meet with him and he'll grill them. He'll grill them on their play. He'll grill them on the playbook. John Gruden will grill you. So my question is, who grilled Shedeur? Did somebody prep him? Well, his dad would have grilled him. His dad knows football. He had his dad. His dad knows football. Like, who else knows football more than him? So he would have to have grilled him. So he really probably didn't need John Gruden. I mean, he had Coach Prime to grill him, his father. So, but the question is the chatter around the league, though, that didn't get back to them. That didn't get back to him because he could have had another interview to reassure them, like, look, man, I'm not arrogant. I'm not this, because usually the chatter going around the league, the agent will know this. Because Leigh Steinberg knew it on draft day. He knew it. He knew what was being said about him. But my question is, I don't think Shedeur knew. But he knew, because he got connections in the league. He's an agent, a legendary agent. So he knows the chatter going on. That's when the agent got to get on the phone, like, listen, no, he's not. I can talk to you. You can talk to him right now. He's not arrogant or anything like that. So when he started slipping in the draft, the other teams like, okay, what's going on? Why is he still available? Why is he still available now? And then when he slipped out of the first round, I thought he was going to be taken immediately in the second round, because usually that happens sometime. It doesn't. And to be honest with you, with some certain people, it don't matter where you drafted at. It really doesn't. The only thing for him is just that he lost a lot of money. But yes, some like Kurt Warner, I don't believe he was even drafted. To be honest with you, I don't think so. I think he went on as an undrafted free agent. I believe he played in Canada for a while. To be honest with you, Kurt Warner. So it don't. If you're good, you're good. Like you're gonna get your opportunity. But my thing was, he was under the impression that he was a top 5 pick, man. Travis knew that. That's why he showed up on draft day. He knew he was getting ready to get taken, because somebody had already gave him that information to reassure him, like, look, come to draft. And then also with Jalen Milroe, he came to the draft, but he didn't get taken on day one. But somebody probably had called him, like, look, you're going to get taken. It's just a matter of time. You're going to get taken, but this is where we got you at. So he knew that. This is the job of the agent. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you're going to get taken. This is what's going on right now. You're on the draft board, but this is where it's at.
Cleveland drafted in the same draft. And having said all of this, the fact that he went in the 5th round doesn't mean that his future's foreclosed. Right. He can still go on and be an outstanding player. And it figures that whether it's Kenny Pickett or Baltimore's old quarterback,
Joe Flacco.
That whether it's Joe Flacco or Kenny Pickett, that he won't start the first year, and that can be a really good thing. Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Philip.
Yeah, I just said that. Philip Rivers, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, they didn't start the first year, and they went on to be legends. So yeah, it could happen, but it was like it was almost a miscommunication. Like he knew he was getting ready to be taken, but the owners didn't feel that way. So somebody should have told him that. But I don't think he knew. I really don't. I don't think he had no idea that the owners weren't sure about him. Because the thing is, if he had known that, he could have had another workout. Like, listen, I can fly out. We could work out again. We could have a private workout, or whatever they need to do to assure themselves that they're going to take them. Because the quarterback is a make or break position. You got to get it right. Sometimes people don't get it right. They didn't get it right with Brady, because a lot of teams passed on him. And he was the 199th pick. They call it the Brady pick now. So a lot of teams didn't get it right. Bill Belichick got it right, though. That's what made him a legend. He got it right. He said he saw something in him, and he said it was something on his interviewing. He looked in his eyes. He said the kid's a winner. He said that. He said he saw. He said he interviewed, and he said he knew. Because see, there's certain things that you cannot measure. You can't quantify the heart. You can't quantify that. That's something you find out when you put him in with the Wolves. Is he gonna persevere in the Wolves? That you don't know. You have to take a chance on it. You can't quantify heart and determine. You can't do that. You could quantify, okay, he could throw like this, he threw this, he run like this. But Brady couldn't run either. Brady on when he was at the draft camp, the NFL draft camp, he ran horribly. He ran horribly. He runs faster now at his older age than he did when he was a rookie. I mean, he was pale, pasty white. I mean, he had a bird cage. I mean, he looked horrible. But Bill saw something in him. There was something about him. He said, this kid is going to be special. And he turned out to be. And he got his opportunity when Drew Bledsoe got hurt. When Mo Lewis of the New York Jets broke Drew Bledsoe out the game, damn near killed him.
Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Phillip Rivers are all examples of people who didn't start for 1 or 2 years and still went on. So now he's just a draft pick like any other draft.
Here's my thing. This is what I think went wrong here. They could tell Leigh Steinberg whatever they want to tell him. They had it out for him because that other guy that I never heard of, that had a horrible draft camp throwing, he got drafted before Shedeur. He got drafted before Shedeur. That means they just didn't. They weren't feeling Shedeur. That's just what it was, and it was more than just his skills. That's what it was. It was more than just his skills. Now it wasn't. It wasn't about his skills. It was about something else. I believe this is what I believe. I believe they had a sour taste in their mouth with Coach Prime. That's what I believe. They were like, he ain't gonna run shit. I believe that's what they felt. But they trying to save face right now because because they know that they're looking bad right now to blackball this kid because he's a good kid. And everybody is now speaking, so they're trying to save face now and say that no, he didn't interview well, this and that. No, he did interview because when he had that interview, um, when we saw him interviewing with those reporters, he did very well. He did not sound cocky or anything. So I think they're lying. They're trying to save face. So they can tell Leigh Steinberg all they want. The reason why I know it was personal because they drafted that other quarterback before him, and he's clearly better than that quarterback, clearly. And the quarterback had a terrible draft camp when he was throwing. Terrible. Okay? Terrible. And also the kid from Oregon didn't do that hot either. Them receivers they were dropping balls left and right. He didn't do so hot either. So it was more than just skills. They just weren't feeling the whole attention that they were getting. I think it's the attention that he's getting that they didn't like. They didn't like the attention. But guess what? He still have the attention because his jersey is selling off the racks right now. So what I think is gonna happen in Cleveland at some point during the season, because usually you don't start right away, but the fans are gonna be calling for him. They're gonna be putting pressure on that coach and chanting his name to where he has to go in. He has to. So I think that's what's going to happen this season. He is going to get his opportunity at some point. He just got to be ready. But he's going to get his opportunity. He's not going to get cut. His jersey is selling off the rack. So that means you're going to have to refund the fans their money back. You see? So that assures you right there the fans have spoken. He's not going to get cut or they're going to have to refund all that money. Because his jersey is the number. It's Travis, it's Cam Ward, and Shedeur Sanders is the top three jersey sales right now for the rookies. So if they cut him during training camp, they're gonna have. I've seen it done before. They got to refund that money. They got to refund all of that money, and they're not doing that. They're not doing that. So they're gonna keep him, and he's gonna get his opportunity at some point because the fans is gonna be chanting his name. I know how the dog pound is. I've been there before. They almost up there with Philly fans, if not worse. If not worse. Okay, and they have been itching to win at the dog pound for many, many years. Okay, they've been itching for the dog pound to win for many, many years. So they feel like they got their guy. So the coach is going to be under pressure. Them season ticket holders, let me tell you something about the season ticket holder they could do. Because it happened before with the Giants. Hey, listen, man. The emails will start pouring in. Y'all better start this kid. We sitting up here paying season tickets. And then the season ticket holder like, look, I'll just not get season tickets no more. Y'all ain't trying to win. Put him in. So that's I think is gonna happen. They're going to be under pressure to play him, and he's going to do well. Whether they win, I don't know whether the Browns is ready to win yet, but he's going to do well stat-wise. He is. He's going to do well because he knows how to win. He may not be as fast as a Michael Vick or Lamar Jackson. He don't have to be, okay? But can he run enough to get into that end zone? The answer is yes. If you give him daylight, he's going to kill you. if you give him daylight. But now the NFL is a little different beast now. They got some linebackers that can run a 4-3. So, but he's gonna get some positive yards, and he's gonna be able to get. He scans. He can go through his progressions, and this is the skinny that I have on him. He go through his progressions like a robot. He's like a robot when he go through his. You see how if you see they had showed a backward perspective of him when his head was going from sideline to sideline. Then he scanned again, and then he stopped, and then he saw Jimmy Horn and got the touchdown. And he had it out of his hands before Jimmy had finished his route. He can do that. The only knock that I have against him, unfortunately, it wasn't his fault. He didn't have a decent offensive line. He didn't have a decent offensive line, and occasionally he did hold on to the ball. He did, but that's an easy fix. They just get rid of it. That's an easy fix. There's one thing. It was I forget the coach's name. It was after Shiloh had ran his 40. After everything was over with, a coach came up to Shiloh and was talking about Shedeur. He said, there's something I noticed about your brother. He said, yeah, what is that? When he throw the ball, if it's a missed throw, it's not a missed throw by a couple of yards. It's a missed throw by a hand, by the length of a hand. He don't miss throw by that much. It's only by a hand. He said that. He said, I haven't seen that in a long time. He said, now you're talking Pat Mahomes type shit. And I've noticed it about him too. He don't really have. The ball is not really out of range too much when there's a miss throw. It really isn't. He's really accurate, and I feel like this year the NFL that they got it wrong. Whoever they need to have me in their front office. I'm just telling you right now because I know I've done all the skinny on him. I did it all. I could even tell you. I can even give him a run rating. Because I know they're saying he really is not athletic. The answer is yes, he is. He is. He is athletic. One of the notes that I had on him is he's very deceptive. He's very deceptive. If you look at him when he play, he's very deceptive. But if he has daylight, he's gonna make you look stupid. Okay, he's not a statue. Tom Brady was a statue. Drew Bledsoe was a statue. I've seen the statues. I know what the statues are. Dan Marino was a statue, but however, the skinny on Dan Marino is he had the best quick release in the damn business. It was only him and Brett Favre and a few others that only had a release like that. He had a quick release. You wasn't sacking him because his release, he'll just throw it away. He had a quick release. And Brett Favre was the same way. Also, Brett Favre, he was somewhat of a statue, but he had a very quick release to get it away. And another thing, like I said with Shedeur, he is not a statue. And I just named those people. He's not a statue. He can run it if he needs to, and he's very tough. That's another mark that I have on him. He's his toughness. That's something that you can't teach. You got to be born with that one. His progressions, the way he go from sideline to sideline, and the way he scans it, it's almost like a tad bit under. He's like 2 notches under. What's his name? Because I've seen it done before. What's his name he had the best vision in the business. It was Montana. Nobody had vision like Montana. He had the best vision in the game. That Montana was second to none. In my lifetime, it was Montana. He don't give a damn if somebody just a tad bit open, he got you. Shedeur just a tad bit under that, two tabs under that. And it's when I tell you that's amazing, it's amazing. You have to actually look at him from a overview from the back, a back overview to see what his head is doing. And you can see what he's looking at. And you can see his head is just moving and it's moving. Boom, he finds his target and he goes. That's something that you probably can't teach. That's something that your reaction time and your it has to be something you're born with. He has that. Um, his arm strength. Okay, so we could talk about his arm strength. So if I'm meeting with them on draft day and we discussing his arm strength, sure, he doesn't have the arm strength of a Michael Vick, but it's damn near close. He has arm strength. I've seen him. I've seen him. That ball be floating fucking 60 yards. I've seen it. Okay. Is he Aaron Rodgers? No. Is he damn near close? Yes. That's all you need. He has above average arm strength. It's above average, way above average. So they got him wrong. They got it wrong. That's why you see Skip Bayless and everybody talking about. They literally got this one wrong. We saw it, and they knew why he did because they weren't like, man, he's a head case. That's what they came up with. Because see, the thing is, it wasn't about his skills. It was about they didn't like what was going on with him and his father and what they were saying, and they were going to show him. That's what happened. So now we really all the information has come out now. They also fined the Atlanta Falcons coach. I heard they fined him. So they did take some disciplinary action because of what his son did. I knew that was going to happen because Arthur Blank is cool with Prime. I knew it was going to happen. I knew it. I was just going to wait for it. There was no way he wasn't going to do it. He wasn't going to discipline him somehow. Um, yeah, because I mean, Shedeur could very well one day wind up in Atlanta. We don't know. At some point in his career, he's not going to stay with the Browns, though. I don't think. At some point, he's going to go, and they're gonna really everybody going to know that they were wrong about him, and they're going to be offering him the Brinks truck money in a couple years. He's going to get Brinks truck money. It's just a matter of time. But now we know. Now we know everything. It's just the owners. They just weren't having it. That's just what it was. They weren't. They weren't having it. They didn't like. You know what else they said? They didn't even like him saying legendary. They didn't like that either. But what's interesting is what I'll tell you is next season, well, next draft when Arch Manning come out. Some people say he's not coming out. He is coming out, and I've already done the skinny on him. I really didn't know he was that fast. I didn't. I'm curious to know what he runs in the 40. I didn't know he was that fast, yo. I didn't know that. He's actually really, really fast. Now, I'm fair with him, but what's going to happen is his grandfather is going to raise his head again because we haven't heard from his grandfather in a while. The only time we hear from his grandfather is when he has his quarterback camp. But I promise you, his son is not going to the Browns. I mean, his grandson. I promise you this. Because he's going to tell them, don't even look at my grandson. Or we'll, hold on. Don't even look at my grandson and we'll just send him back to Texas. Don't do it. Okay? Don't do it. All he had to do was call Arch Manning up and say, is Shedeur good or not? Because he knows Shedeur. All he had to do was ask him, is his skills, is he really good? He would have said, yeah. He invited him to the camp for a reason. Okay? He don't just invite any quarterback to his camp, even though Shedeur couldn't make it. See, I remember everything. But the thing is, the prognosis on Shedeur, the ceiling is very high. He has not reached his potential yet. He has not. He is going to get, you know what? He's the type of person where he gets better when the talent is good around him. He's going to go to another level. Okay? So when he gets around that offensive line that's worried about their money, okay? When they worried about their money and they're gonna sit up there, he's gonna have some decent blockers. Now he's gonna make some magic happen. Because now he ain't got to worry about being on his ass all the time. Okay? That's where we know the greatness is because he threw for over 4,000 yards on his damn back, running for his life. Okay? He ain't got to do that no more because now he got millionaires blocking for him. Okay? And they would love to win there. So that's what's going to happen. He got some grown ass men blocking for him. Only thing I would have to tell him is get rid of that ball. Don't hold it because if they take a sack, they're going to be in your face. Them offensive linemen, they're going to be in your face in the locker room. You please let that ball go because I don't want to be credited for that sack. That's the only thing, and he will get rid of it. That's it. Everything else, I'm not worried about him with. I'm not worried about him. I'm not worried about his work ethic. I'm not worried about nothing. So that's what's going to happen. The fans are going to be calling for him, and he's going to get in that game. It's kind of unheard of because he's a fifth round pick. They usually don't start. Spencer Rattler got some run this past season. He was a fifth round pick out of South Carolina, and we know he was at Oklahoma. But Williams took his spot before he went to USC. Remember Caleb Williams had that legendary game for Oklahoma and had them come back. They had bench Spencer Rattler. Okay, then. Well, Spencer went on to South Carolina, and then he got himself in the league, but he got drafted in the fifth round, which makes him a backup. But he did get some minutes this season. This past season he did, because I was following him. I was following the Light Bright. I call him Light Bright. Light Bright got some minutes. All right. Yeah, he's in New Orleans. Thank you for the dono, Y Towns King. You said that was sabotage, bro. Yeah, you're right. They're gonna make sure they're right. Right. Thank you, Y Towns, for the dono. I appreciate you now. Hold on, let me highlight it. Thank you again. So yeah, we know now. We know now what happened to him. In my mind, it was collusion. Oh yes, and Brock Purdy. Yes. Yeah, so we know it can be done. Brock Purdy's like, look, hello, I'm right here, Shedeur. Don't worry about it. Brock Purdy somewhere saying, don't worry about it, because I got my money. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, Shedeur. You'll get your money. Spencer Rattler sitting up there battling it out too, up in New Orleans. He trying to make it happen. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But now we know. We know it's just the owners was on one. And luckily for him though, they weren't even talking about his skills really. They weren't talking about his skills. So at least he could, they weren't talking about can he play. They know he could play, but they sitting up there saying, "Oh, he's arrogant." Let's see what they say that about Arch Manning and his family. Let's see, because his father. Wait till his grandfather. If y'all had never seen him in action before, you getting ready to see him next draft. He's the patriarch of that family. He's like, nah, yo, my grandson is not going here, here, and there. Okay? Let him come off that board when we want him to come off that board. Or y'all better trade up for him, one way or the other. And he ain't going to Dallas either. And I'm just kidding. He probably not. Because a lot of people question Dallas if they want to win or not. If Jerry Jones really want to win. You know what I'm saying? But that's it, folks. Shedeur is good. It's not about his talent. So everybody know that. Even though they're saying that. Oh, he threw a lot of bubble screens. They getting a lot of. And I told you some of these NFL Hall of Famers is like somewhat hating a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if they was slid a few dollars. To hate. I don't care. All money ain't good money. I'll take your money and say, oh yeah, Shedeur, yeah. Even though he threw a lot of bubble screens, that wasn't his fault. He could throw all type of shit. Now, and do you know what I would say? They'll be mad at me. I said, I refer to you to the well-off media clips when he's working out with his quarterback coach, him and Cam Ward. Look at all the throws patterns he's doing, and look what I show you. Look what he did at Jackson State in that last game when he threw it to Travis to tie the game up. Okay, go back to that when he tied that he threw and look. Not only Travis. Don't get me wrong. Now Travis is great. He caught the ball, but he only threw it to where Travis could catch it, and he threw a laser. Okay, so now I just point you to that game. And I point you to the game where they call it a Hail Mary to LeJontay Wester. Here's why it wasn't a Hail Mary. Oh, they would be mad with me. And I still take their money. And he'd be like, yeah, but you didn't really get into what we want. No, I got into, he did throw a lot of bubble screens. I did get into that. But I had to get into his whole body of work. We had to get into the whole body of work first. And that's what I would have did. And Oh, is he arrogant, huh? No, an arrogant player won't buy a player. See, now I know they're gonna be like, how the hell I found this out? Listen, no person that's arrogant and stuck up with himself is gonna buy a player, fucking what do you call it? Furniture. He's not gonna furnish somebody's apartment, okay? If he's stuck up on himself, he's not going to buy somebody furniture or let somebody hold his car. Him and Shallow was letting what's the name hold the car because he didn't have a car. Here, man, draw this, man. That's not a selfish player, okay? That's not a selfish person. A selfish person is not going to sit up there and buy another player an expensive chain. He's not going to do that, okay? Even though he bought that player furniture, then the player end up leaving. But he was okay with that. You know what I'm saying? Um, a selfish player that's just stuck up on himself is not going to go to a kid's school because the kid was getting bullied. Okay, he said, "No, let's go. I'm staying the whole time. Let's go." He's not going to do that. He's not going to do that. So they did get him wrong. It's a travesty the way they did him. It's crazy. But they not. I'm going to let the world. That's what he did. He's not going to say it, but that's what he did. He went right to that school when that kid was getting bullied. Okay, that kid is never going to forget that. You think that kid thinks Shedeur is arrogant? No. You know what I'm saying? He's not. He's not. He think y'all crazy. Okay, you think that rapper that passed away, the way he treat the rapper's children, almost like they're his own. You think they're gonna sit up there? They love him, man. You think they're gonna sit up there and say he's arrogant? No, they were at the draft with him because the kid was trolling him. Like, damn, Shedeur, if you don't get picked this time, damn. Like, he was like, laughing with him about it. That's the stuff that these owners that don't care to see. They don't care to see that. They just had it in their mind that they had enough with the Coach Prime. That's it. Okay? And this is what we're gonna do to prove our point. That's what happened, folks. We know now. I don't care what they saying about Drew Rosenhaus. So if they come back and use another agent, I will be right back. So Drew Rosenhaus, you a legend and all that. You got misinformation, sir. Oh yes, you got misinformation. Oh yes, I can tell you he's not cocky. I can tell you that. He's sure of himself though. Shit, if I can throw a ball like that, I'd be sure about myself too. Shit. If I could sit up there and throw something and throw that pigskin like that. You damn right. Because all the quarterbacks had it like that. Cam Newton was like that. So what I'm trying to figure out is the Heisman Trophy race. Shedeur came up number 8 out of all the quarterbacks around. So it wasn't his skills, folks. Definitely wasn't. They were just sitting up there, made it personal. Yeah, they made it personal. But they're gonna dial back. When he says, "Oh yeah, you know, um, Shedeur, we want to sign you, right now." Well, what happened with draft day? Oh, hey man, but you did it though, man. Congratulations. When you're doing well, you got the well wishes there. They're gonna stop hating after a while. But it is what it is. I don't know if he's gonna get an agent. I'm assuming his dad is his agent. That's what I'm assuming. You really don't need an agent. Ray Allen, remember Ray Allen? Um, he didn't have an agent. He got rid of his agent. He became his own agent, Ray Allen, and a few others. And Jerome Williams, that used to play for Georgetown with Allen Iverson. He went to the NBA. He was his own agent too. So yes, I don't forget nothing. It's all been done before, folks. Yes, indeed. I don't want to take too much of your time. I think I did a little better today. I wasn't as riffing and raffing. I think I did a little better today. And I just sit up here nice and calmly and said they sitting up there lying. That's right. They sitting up there lying, man. But that's all good. Because they the ones acting like arrogant and acting like children. It's the owners are the ones that acting. See, they're the ones that's acting like children and arrogant. It's the owners. Okay. So now we have it. Shedeur is going to go on and be legendary. So why can't he call himself legendary, man? Shit. He's good, man. You said hundreds of players think they should. No, he really should have went higher in the draft, Mike. This is not up for debate. It's not that he think he was supposed to do it, but what happened was the owners felt some type of way, man. See, one thing, Mike, we could say for Shedeur, he was number 8 in the race for the Heisman Trophy. Number 8 in the race. You don't become number 8 in the race for the Heisman Trophy if you can't play. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, his family showed love for Jimmy Horn. You said the Browns have a good offensive line. Well, let me tell you. Hold on. Hold on. All right. So if the Browns have a good offensive line, well, he getting ready to roll then. He getting ready to roll then, baby. They got a good offensive line. Make no mistakes about it. He's getting ready to roll, man. They know it. They know it. They're like, oh, let's just end this shit and just draft them because we already know let's just do it. And they gonna make themselves look like fucking look. We saved them. We saved them, folks. But it's all good. You said Gino Torretta won the Heisman Trophy and went in the 7th round. Yeah, well, Gino Torretta, University of Miami, yes. He did win the Heisman Trophy. Yes, he did. He went on to the league and played a while in the league. He sure did. Travis and Jimmy Horn, too. It was Coach Prime, the reason why Travis won the Heisman Trophy. It was because of Coach Prime, because no other college is going to let him play them many snaps, man. He led the country in snaps for 2 years in a row. Okay? He let him fly. He let him be himself. So he was a huge part of him winning the Heisman Trophy. Because he let him be himself. He's like, yeah, you can play both sides of the ball. You want to do that? Okay, you got it. And guess what? It all worked out. He won the Heisman Trophy. Yes, indeed. He won the Heisman Trophy. And yeah, so like I said, it wasn't skills this time. It was just something else. Arch Manning is yeah, well, he had to split snaps with Quinn Ewers, but this year is gonna be his year. It's his team now. It's his team. So I'm not sure, this might be the last year Texas will have him. He's that good. He's that good, man. I didn't realize he could run like that. I'm like, what the fuck? This dude got some wheels on him, man. He faster than his uncles, I tell you that much. Because Peyton was a statue. Eli wasn't a statue though. I must say that he wasn't a statue. He could move a little bit, but this kid can move. This kid got wheels on him, man. So we'll see. You said confidence and humility is great. Confidence, ego, arrogance, and entitlement is difficult to get along with. Like I said before, if you're entitled and you're arrogant, you're not gonna follow a kid to school, yo. You're not gonna do that. You're not gonna buy a player furniture. That's not happening. Because you're so into yourself. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean he had this fancy car. All these college players got fancy cars, man. The ones that's getting money.
I guess they don't like that, man. They all had them fancy cars, man. A friend of mine, her son, um, went to they went to the University of Miami here recently on a visit. She thought she was at a pro camp. She thought she was at a NFL parking lot. She's like, "Am I at an NFL parking lot or is this a college park?" They was like, "No, this is where the football players park at." All she saw was Hellcats, TRXs. She saw a Lambo out there, um, a Rolls Royce. She was like, "Damn, is this an NFL parking lot?" Fuck, players getting money on that back end, man. They sure is. That's what she saw. You said the fancy car rap chain. He don't have a rap. I mean, yeah, he made a few rap songs, but he's not a rapper. You know what I'm saying? He's not a rapper. He's not going. I guess if they worried about he gonna be a rapper, like, come on, man. They really they. You know what this is reminiscent of? This is reminiscent of Allen Iverson. What they did to Allen Iverson. The only difference is though, Allen Iverson was the #1 pick though. They couldn't deny him. They could not deny Allen Iverson. They just couldn't. I mean, shit, in the Final Four, he dunked over Marcus Camby, man. Marcus Camby, 6'11". Allen Iverson, they had him listed at 6'1". He not 6'1", though. He more closer to 5'11". He dunked over Marcus Camby, man. They couldn't deny Allen Iverson. That was one of the best drafts in NBA history because, you know, Kobe Bryant, Ray Allen, and all of them came out in the same draft. But this is reminiscent of Allen Iverson because, you know, Allen Iverson is the reason why he had them braids. You know, he rocking the braids and all that. Had the big entourage. You know what I'm saying? The gold chains. All this was Allen Iverson. You know how Shedeur. Nah, man, I have to take you back to Allen Iverson. He wore the chains and all that and had the entourage. And they used to talk about it. Oh, his entourage. You know what I'm saying? This is too hood. You know what I'm saying? This is too hood. And we know his legendary interview, right? You talking about practice. You talking about practice. Man, we talking about practice, man. We talking about practice. But let me tell you something about Allen Iverson. The reason why he was first ballot Hall of Famer, even though he didn't win a championship, is because he was instrumental in the league changing the way they played defense. When he came into the league, they were playing that man-to-man defense. But he changed that. They had to go zone on him. So he revolutionized the game. That's why he's first ballot Hall of Fame, if you don't know. He actually revolutionized the NBA. They could not guard this kid, man. They couldn't guard him. And we know what he did to Michael Jordan. He crossed his ass twice. But the only problem is, though, Michael went on to win the game, though. Okay? The outcome is the Bulls won that game. Okay? But he cried. When I saw him cross, I said, oh, yeah, he has arrived. When he crossed Michael up, and he said Michael was the only player besides Kobe, but really was Michael, where he said he didn't think he was human. He said he was glowing and shit when he saw him. And then he said Michael just glared at him. He said he thought Michael hated his guts, but then at the All-Star game, Michael came to him and was like, I like you, kid. I like what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? I like what you're doing right there. But we know Michael was a savage. Okay, Michael was a savage. You know what I'm saying? But he gave him his credit. And he went on to be first ballot Hall of Fame. But they gave him shit his whole career. Oh, look at him. He wearing the baggy pants. And then they started making the players wear suits and shit. But now they going back to the tighty, whatever they wearing. Some of these players, these football going there, these basketball players, the stuff they be wearing, hey, man, it is what it is. They're on that metrosexual vibe. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't knocking nobody for the way they dress, but they dressing off the hook out here. But Allen Iverson, this is reminiscent. They had Allen Iverson wrong, man. I'm like, damn. And then this one dude calling him Tupac Shedeur, man. I ain't gonna say who it is. He calling him Tupac Shedeur. I mean, you get the fuck out of here, yo. He ain't no thug, man. Tupac wasn't a thug either. Let me just be clear to you. He wasn't a thug either. He just got wrapped up in the wrong situation. Okay? But yeah, sitting up there calling him Tupac Shedeur. You know what I'm saying? He just a hate. He really don't like Dion. He really don't like Coach Prime. Whitlock, I never seen him smile so much on draft day. He said, guys, what's happening with Shedeur? Oh my God. He's going in the second round now. Oh my God. Yo, I never seen his teeth so much. Never seen his teeth. And then the second round pass, here come Whitlock again. He must go in the third round. He's gonna go in the third round, maybe. You know, we don't know. Boy, Whitlock, he almost climaxed on himself when that happened. He's so much of a hater. It's crazy, man. I mean, what did Coach Prime take the girl that he liked? Did he take his girl from you? Like, what happened? Did he take your girl from you? Like, what happened, man? Lord have mercy. I would have blocked him too. Call him Tupac Shedeur. He said because the chain he had on draft day. He said he Tupac Shedeur. But hey, they say if you don't have no haters, you ain't doing it right. You gotta have something. Everybody ain't gonna like you. You know what I'm saying? That's understandable. Everybody ain't gonna like you. You know what I'm saying? So that's just what it is. You're gonna rub somebody the wrong way. It's just the way life is. But anyway, guys, I'm out of here. I'll be back in about a couple of hours. And we're gonna get into Mr. Sharp. Mr. Sharp, he still got his YouTube. He don't need that. I mean, yeah, the big contract would have been cool, but shit, if he get another Cat Williams interview, he's straight. You know what I'm saying? He get more, run the views up even more. But anyway, we'll get back to that. I think the case is bullshit now. I'm just telling you. That's why I ain't really talking about it no more. I think it's a money grab, yo. She wants some money. And that's just what it is right there. Unc like what he like. They say call him Unc, right? That's what they call him. I personally can't call him Unc because he's not old enough to be my Unc. You know what I'm saying? He's Generation X. He's just they're the oldest of Generation X. I'm in Generation X too. So it don't make no sense me calling him Unc, yo. But Sharp, you know what I'm saying? He like what he like, man. I mean, I can't knock nobody there. So, but I just think the case is a little bit BS. And then you got the haters, some of his coworkers saying they didn't like him and all this type of stuff. It is what it is when you're at the top. You're the best what you do. You're gonna have people like just not liking it. So we'll see what happens with Mr. Sharp moving forward. But I'm on to this Diddy situation now. That's coming up. I'm just on the eve of it now. He said he ain't taking no deal. They offered him a deal, he ain't take it. So he taking it all the way what we call to the door. He going to a jury trial. Oh, see, we Gen X's, we can't call him out. Because he's in our age group. You said Shannon too old, but see, Van, he liked what he even said it. And I didn't know he'd been saying all this. Yo, he liked them young. He liked them young. He said them young. He said they going to get it. They going to get it. He said them young ones getting it now. That's what he was saying to Ocho. Them young ones could go now. He said they coming after it. They coming after it. And then, Chad just listening to him like, okay, Shan, okay. They coming to get it, man. He liked them young ones, man. He liked them young, man. He liked what he liked. But I'm going to tell you something. I ain't going to get into it. But, you know what I'm saying? And, they going after Bill Belichick, too, just to let you know. But his girl ain't having it, though. The reporter tried to, but she was like, no, we're not answering them questions. She was in the background. Nah, we're not answering that. I kind of like that she, like, kind of stood up for him. You know what I'm saying? She's like, no, we're not answering how we met. We're not doing all that. I think she like 24. 24, and you know. But shit, Bill don't care what nobody think. He got her out in the open. He ain't got her in the dark. You know what I'm saying? Bill don't care. So I kind of admire that he don't care what nobody think. Hey man, you like what you like, man. Shout out to Bill Belichick, man. Nah, she ain't getting no 50 million. You say he too old to get played like this. Hey man, sometimes people slip, man. Sometimes you be in your lower chakras. All right, y'all. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Thanks for joining. Peace.